Hi, Todd. It's Tim at the Snap a Coin Place.
Hey Tim, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for taking the time to do this.
The machine, it's a mind blower, man. It really is. um, I'm really interested in it. I just had a few questions about it, but if that's okay.
Yeah. This is kind of our first go around at. We're shooting this video as well, and so we're just gonna see how this goes. But fire away.
Good deal. And like I said, I guess you've been working on the machine since 2012, so I'm not expecting a full rundown of the workings in and out all the way around. I think the main thing is your use of, I'm assuming you're using some sort of analytics with the camera image that you're receiving of those coins. Is that correct?
That is correct. We developed some technology to be able to do that at a very fast pace. Involves machine learning and computer vision to be able to identify the coins.
So these coins are operating on a conveyor belt, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So in my elementary mind, I'm trying to understand. Okay, so he's receiving an image, and then you're sending an output. There's so many variables involved. Like just the speed of the conveyor belt would have to be consistent, correct?
It's more. What's more important is the computing power.
Okay.
Because if you have slow computing power, then yes, the belt needs to run slower. If you think about a human being, they can only operate so fast because of the if-thens in their head. A computer can operate faster, and also it's just the physical movement, but a computer operates faster than the human mind.
Unfortunately, yes, but I guess fortunately too. Is this a software you developed?
Yes, everything that we have done has all been done in-house.
Can I ask you a few specifics about the machine?
You bet.
So, I'm assuming you're using some kind of output relay for once the computer identifies what it is that it's looking at. Is there only one camera that's viewing the coin, or does it have like an integrity check where it has like three cameras, and then once it passes the third, then it verifies, okay, go to this bin, go to that bin?
No, just one camera. Actually, we're using two cameras. It's kind of a little bit of a thing that we came up with on how to do it, because if you think about it, the coin only has a date and mint mark on one side.
Right.
Some other coins have it on obverse and reverse, so that's another tricky thing that that we address.
Man, you're right there. That was one of my questions was, so if that coin gets sent out from the hopper and it's showing the reverse, does it just go through to the end of the conveyor belt and come back in and just try it again till it lands on its head,
All right, so revealing a little bit of, it's not all that complex once I looked at it and figured out what to do. When it comes off of the other conveyor, we just turn it over.
Okay. All right.
And so then it's on another conveyor, and we have another camera on that other conveyor. So we have one camera per conveyor belt.
So you're not physically like touching the coin when you sort it. I'm assuming. I looked at the video, and you get a little teaser on your machine there. Are you using air power to push the coin off the belt?
That's correct.
I tell you, Tim. We had been talking about some different things, like just the feature alone of your grading software, LookZ. A few months ago, we were. How amazing would it be to be able to do that right now? You can go and you can download an app that will show you pictures of coins, so you can get an idea of what grade, kind of a reference, but nothing where you can actually take a photo of the coin. Again, just some mind-blowing stuff. Really, really excited about it. And then, if I can, a couple more questions.
You bet.
Let's see here. notes here this morning. So the speed of the conveyor belt, I guess that's because once that coin is processed, the image is captured on that camera. It has to have a reference of the rate of speed that it's going up the belt to know when to shoot what coin into what bin, correct?
That's correct.
Right. Yeah, that's. I mean, that variable alone. It has been a few years just to get that nailed down there, bud.
Yeah, I mean, we dabbled. We started out, doing this and that, and just kept pushing, just kept trying this and trying that, and it's just been. I mean, it's been painful, but it's also been fun, very enjoyable.
Well, it's amazing that as you said, this is just the first machine. I call it the dream machine in more ways than one, but just the potential, for I mean, looking at the inventory of coins that you have and the amount of coins that you have to go through, I could see how hours and hours of sorting by hand, your mind would just be spinning on how to do this better, quicker, easier, and it's just going to revolutionize like you said, how 20 years from now we're going to be looking at this like we used to do that manually by hand. It's amazing.
Yes, you're absolutely right. So, one of the analogies that I use, and it's almost a parallel, is if you look at long ago when the old video game Pong was invented, and I don't know if you've watched like the Jobs movie, but as soon as they did that, other people started saying, "Wow, we could do this, we could do that." So, like the version 1 of the machine is almost like Pong being invented, but when
right.
So like I mean I can tell. I mean your head's kind of. I mean it's just kind of like spinning a little bit. Like holy cow.
Right.
I won't curse the first few times that we do this, but eventually I'll just go ahead and be more free with that.
No time did my mind ever think about using it in this application, and I could see where with the software you created, it's just absolutely amazing. And if I could, I just have one question about that too, which I think is just amazing. If that's okay.
You bet.
So you have a priority of bins from, I believe, 1 through 13, and are all those being put onto that software at one time, or do they go through? And forgive me because I'm trying to use language on an idea that I didn't know existed till now.
Yes.
But is the software looking through all 13 of those possible variables to sort? Is there a certain priority, or does it make multiple passes? Or I don't know if I'm asking the question correctly.
Yeah, it's looking at the individual coin and it's deciding which bin to place it in.
Okay, so I guess so. You have like a value of $2 or more being one of the bins.
Correct.
I would put that at bin number 1.
The user interface and everything, it's actually, you can manipulate it around however you want. I understand your thinking, that you would want that as number 1 because it's your most valuable bin. So you would be able to actually kind of like just drag and drop that's where you want that bin.
Oh, brother. I love it, man. I love it. I'm not even going to act like I understand completely the bright field and the dark field you're viewing, but the concept does make sense to me. It's actually how it physically works would be something I'd have to look into more deeply. But I just want to let you know that coin collecting has always been a passion of mine for a long time. I first started collecting with old books and manuscripts. And the more I read and the more knowledge I gained, I got into collecting ancient coins. Because once you start reading history, and then you can kind of connect the time with what you're physically holding in your hand, it's just been something I've really appreciated. Just recently, in the last few years, gotten into collecting modern coins, but I would collect old bags of uncleaned ancient coins, and me and my kids would sit around and clean them. It's just always been something, but just been a hobby to a point where now in the last few years I've actually tried to make it a profession. And I have all the diligence and effort and the vision as well. And if there is any way that, or any time that I could be of any help to you or any service to you all in any way, if I need to research anything, I'd be more than happy to do that. I'm reading one of your paragraphs here. It's like, well, as of now, we're only able to differentiate between poor up to extra fine, extremely fine. I'm sorry. And to me, that's amazing right there. Is there anything else that's are you building another machine? Or are you refining this one? I saw you had quite a few coins.
If you look at what I'm doing, I'm operating the stamp and coin place here. I also have another retail location south of us. We created the machine and then saw value in creating Looksy. So I have my hands full. We're exploring what we want to do, whether we want to build more machines. We have some people that possibly want to license machines. There's somebody that wants to license Looksy. I just have one hell of a lot going on, and we're just trying to do what's every day pretty much like what's in front of us to keep moving forward.
And I can appreciate that, and I can tell from watching the videos that you all are posting that you are in deep on it, and I guess so. And I'm not talking about a compensation of any sort, but I do have a brain, and with sometimes when you get more eyes on it, and it's one of those things where your idea is something that you don't want to just have anyone the ability to reverse engineer for the 5 years that you've spent working and developing on it. And so that's a reward in itself for you. Have you submitted a patent or a license for your machine?
The machine is patented. I have an issued patent.
Awesome. I was just going to say, without any compensation of any sort, just to be involved in the beginning stages of this, I sent an email to be a part of the beta testing for your application, Looksy. That to me is amazing in itself. But with my background, just the machine and the way that it operates off of analytics is actually just it is amazing. I would love to put my eyes on it and see it work. I would sign whatever contract I would need not to go off and try and make my own, because I doubt I would be able to do that anyway. But yeah. Have you had other people look at the machine operate in-house?
Yes, I've had not like a lot of people, but I have shown it. I had one coin dealer actually shaking while he was looking at it. He's I don't know, he's 65, 68 years old, something like that, and all he's done his whole life is sort coins. So
yeah, brother. You found that next step in the world of analytics and robotics to an extent. I mean, you're not physically touching the coins, but it is a machine operation, and absolutely amazing. I'll keep watching for any updates, and you have my phone number. If at any time, I live in Pennsylvania, but at any time I would make the venture out there just to see. I believe, and I'm not over trying to be too flamboyant about it, what you have, but I believe it's something that is, at least in the coin world, a very historical thing.
Todd, thank you very much for saying that. You're going to see in the video that I just had an emotional shift when you said that. There are people that for a while thought that I was making it up, like it wasn't true, like I had some fabricated story, And it's been an interesting process to be like where we are right now. But Gary Vaynerchuk talks about like, and it's like a humble brag. I believe that it's my humble opinion that this possibly is the largest innovation to ever hit numismatics.
Easy, yes.
And so so you're a smart guy and you just say easy. I mean, you don't even hesitate. You don't say hands down. There's no argument coming from you. In your opinion, you've been looking at this for a few days and you just say this is easily that, correct? As far as like the innovation,
yes. As you said, that 68-year-old who had spent countless hours one by one looking at a coin just to put in the right roll. It's amazing. It really is.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate your time, Todd, and I'm going to guess that we're going to talk again.
That's cool. That's right on with me, Tim. That's cool.
All right.
Take care, and have a good rest of your day.
You do the same.
All righty.
Bye, Todd.